Good morning, Alliant community, faculty, graduates, family, and friends. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2012 commencement of Alliant International University. As chair of the San Diego Irvine Faculty Assembly, I bring greetings from the faculty of all our Alliant campuses. Graduates, as you cross the stage today, we are reminded of the privilege of teaching and mentoring that has been ours during your time at Alliant. We are confident that you are well prepared to meet the challenges you will face today. The faculty of Alliant International University wishes you, your families, and friends a wonderful future. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce our provost, Dr. Russ Newman.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. I'd also like to welcome you to the 2012 commencement for Alliant's San Diego campus. Commencements are very special occasions in the world of education, and our faculty and staff are very proud to see yet another class graduating. I'd like to thank the Commencement Committee, who have worked so hard since January to assure this event is as we would like it. Commencements are filled with traditions, both large and small. And one small tradition that has developed here at Alliant is to take a few minutes at the start of the ceremony to talk briefly about the big traditions associated with commencement. And despite the fact that many of the traditions and rituals we observe today date back to the clerics of the Middle Ages, I promise you I will be brief. In a nutshell, the commencement ceremony is comprised of the music-accompanied processional and recessional, which surround the actual conferring of degrees, all accomplished while wearing the traditional color-defined regalia, cap, gown, and the degree-affiliated hood. The origins of the academic dress do indeed date back to the 12th and 13th centuries, when universities were just taking shape in collaboration with the leading religious institutions of the day. You'll be interested to know, however, that in the face of this rich and long-standing tradition, there are many who believe that the long gowns were originally worn more for necessity than ceremony due to the unheated buildings of the times. Perhaps the most interesting of the traditions is the assignment of colors to signify certain faculties, which was a much later development and only standardized in the United States in the late 19th century. The color white, taken from the white fur trimmings of the Oxford and Cambridge Bachelor of Arts hood, was assigned to the arts and letters. Red, one of the traditional colors of the church, went to theology. Green, the color of medieval herbs, was adopted for medicine, and olive, because it was so close to green, was given to pharmacy. Golden yellow, representing the wealth which scientific research produced, was assigned to the sciences. Since the original assignment of these colors, we now have, among others, gold for psychology, light blue for education, purple for law, and without reference to anything but the color itself, drab for business and finance. Another bit of commencement tradition and trivia relates to the processional music, pomp and circumstance, perhaps the most familiar symbol of graduations. The Pomp and Circumstance March was composed by Great Britain's Sir Edward Elgar in 1901, not for a graduation ceremony at all, but for the coronation of King Edward VII. It first became associated with graduations in 1905 when it was played when Elgar received an honorary doctorate from Yale, although it was played as a recessional rather than a processional. After Yale used it, Princeton used it, then the University of Chicago and Columbia University. Soon, of course, it simply became a matter of keeping up with the Ivies. One last, perhaps more informal tradition that has been incorporated into commencements is the practice of providing words of wisdom, hope, and inspiration to the graduates. The earliest example I could find on record was when the graduates of his day and said, "The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future." Other more notables who have endeavored to inspire the graduates include Nelson Mandela, who said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Or when President Obama told the all-women graduates at Barnard College in New York 2 weeks ago, "Don't just get involved. Fight for your seat at the table. Better yet, fight for a seat at the head of the table." In between Plato and the president's remarks, many inspirational words have no doubt been spoken at commencements, and of course, some not so inspirational. Quotable quotes regarding graduations themselves have brought this point to home. A graduation ceremony is an event where the commencement speaker tells thousands of graduates dressed in identical caps and gowns that individuality is the key to success. Or, commencement speeches were invented largely in the belief that outgoing college students should never be released into the world until they have been properly sedated. I have no doubt that today, true to the tradition, you will hear words of wisdom, hope, and inspiration. There you have it, more than you probably ever wanted to know about the pomp and circumstance of commencement. Now on to more serious matters. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you the president of Alliant International University. President Jeff Cox envisions the education process as helping people gain the skills necessary to be successful professionals, but to also do good in the world, to make significant contributions to society. It was his strategic vision for the university that is responsible for our university's current mission to train highly competent professionals to be applied practitioners in their field and to train professionals to solve real-world, significant problems in the multicultural and global communities in which they live and work. Please welcome the president of Alliant International University, Dr. Jeff Cox.
Thank you, Provost Newman. Good morning. Congratulations to our graduates. I want to give a special welcome today to the parents, the spouses, the partners, friends, and children of our graduates. Those of us up here on the stage are probably not quite as proud of your graduating students as you are, but we're awfully close. At the very least, we share in your joy and pride today as we celebrate the accomplishments of this newest group of Alliant alumni. It's my honor also to bring you greetings not only on behalf of the faculty and staff of this campus, but from around the entire Alliant system. The graduates here today join a group of nearly 1,000 students who will receive degrees at Alliant commencements that stretch from Mexico City to San Francisco, from Fresno to Hong Kong. Many of these students who came to Alliant from dozens of states and countries will return to those communities around the world where they will make real and lasting contributions to the lives of individuals, families, and organizations. Their impact will be enormous, and they will come to exemplify our mission of preparing students for professional lives of service and leadership. Commencement ceremonies serve many purposes. One of those purposes is to encourage graduates to reflect on the moment, to take stock of that very brief interlude between completing one goal and setting out on others. Graduates, you've already made many life-shaping choices which have brought you to this point. Now you will begin making some new decisions that will affect where and how you will conduct yourself in the world. It is one of those rare, brief moments in life in which you may feel that you have real choices to make, and it is important to take full advantage of that opportunity. In American history, perhaps no one has been more obsessive about how he wanted to live his life than Henry David Thoreau. Now, the positive spin on Thoreau is that he was the first environmentalist and an early practitioner of what we would now call mindfulness. The less positive spin was that he was an insufferably self-absorbed person. Either way, his book Walden is arguably the quintessential book about individuality, about freedom, and about the meaning and purpose of life. Although many people know the story about Thoreau's cabin on Walden Pond, my guess is that not many people take time to read his book these days. But it is to Thoreau that we owe many phrases that are now a common part of our everyday speech. He was the one who first said that most people live lives of quiet desperation. And he was the one who said that if a person does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears the tune of a different drummer. My own favorite phrase from Walden comes when Thoreau announces that he wants to live a life with, quote, wide margins. Now, at first glance, when Thoreau says this, he seems simply to be promoting the virtues of laziness. Indeed, I'm sure many graduates can relate to this if they think of margins the same way I did as a student. A good wide margin can quickly turn a 4-page paper into a 5-page paper when you're up against a deadline or you've simply run out of things to write. But the beauty of the metaphor is that it also refers to the margins of time in one's life. In an age in which we are constantly plugged into the work and office, it's very easy to lose track of the margins of life altogether. Work days are endless, weekends disappear, vacations are sporadic. Of course, we know that we should put limits on our business and professional lives in order to leave time around the edges for other things, family, friends, culture, and hobbies. But other pressures always seem to take priority. Leaving time for more important things was good advice in Thoreau's day, but it's probably even more important today. But Thoreau was being even more subtle with his metaphor than merely talking about leaving time in the day or the week for personal pursuits. There's a long and honored tradition among readers to use margins to record notes, to react to what's said on the page, to ask questions, challenge statements, make connections with other ideas, or jot down a personal reflection. This kind of engagement with the text is the very opposite of the lazy reader. It is the mark of someone who is engaged with an active mind in shaping, challenging, absorbing, and adapting ideas. Margins in a book are the places in which we take ownership of ideas. Margins in life are the places in which we take ownership of our souls. How we spend our time, how we choose to reflect, how we shape our lives, what we believe and value. Another great American philosopher, Alfred North Whitehead, once wrote that religion is what the individual does with his own solitariness. It is in those private moments of our lives that we reveal the most about ourselves to ourselves. It is the time and place in which we practice what we believe and give the honor of time and place and attention to our most cherished thoughts. I have a concern that as printed books go the way of phonograph records and papyrus scrolls, future generations may not really understand Thoreau's metaphor. I don't know how one keeps marginal notes on a Kindle. But even if you find yourself scribbling in the margins of pages less and less, I hope that you will remember to use the margins of your life productively. The education you've received at Alliant has focused heavily on the skills and knowledge that will help make you successful as professionals in your chosen field. I hope that we've also given you some tools to help you be successful in life as well. As Thoreau also wrote, be not simply good, be good for something. Once again, graduates, congratulations.
We will now bestow the academic awards to our outstanding graduates. Yes, the best of the best. Academic awards are presented in recognition of academic excellence. Recipients were selected by the faculty of each of our 4 schools based upon criteria established by the faculty. These criteria include academic accomplishment, leadership, service, and scholarship. It is my pleasure to present to you the recipients of the academic awards from Alliant International University for 2012. Outstanding Doctor of Psychology in Clinical Forensic Psychology, Heather Annette McMahon. Outstanding Bachelor's Degree, David Andrew Van Pelt. Outstanding master's degree in teaching English to speakers of other languages, Cristina Lizárraga. Outstanding Doctor of Education in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Maxine E. Goldberg. Outstanding Doctorate in Educational Leadership and Management, Delaram Nagne. Outstanding Doctor of Psychology in Educational Psychology, Sergio Campos. I think Sergio's not here today. Outstanding bachelor's degree in the Alliant School of Management, Agat Pauline Fernandez. Outstanding master's degree in business administration, Joseph Raymond Higgins. Outstanding Doctor of Business Administration, Mustafa Saim. Now in the California School of Professional Psychology, outstanding baccalaureate degree, Debbie Joanne Zanga. Outstanding master's degree in marital and family therapy, Carla Marie Hazen. Outstanding master's degree in marital and family therapy, Ashley Marie Wayman. Outstanding master's degree in marital and family therapy, Lorena Rincon Arredondo. Outstanding Doctor of Psychology in Marital and Family Therapy, Seijiro Nishina. Outstanding master's degree in industrial organizational psychology, Andres Escayón Salazar. Outstanding Doctor of Psychology in Industrial Organizational Psychology, Crystal Ashley Enzi. Outstanding Doctor of Psychology in Leadership, Miguel Ángel Cárdenas. Outstanding Doctor of Psychology in Clinical Psychology, Lisa Ambrosino Ho. Outstanding Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Psychology, Stephanie Knotts. Outstanding Doctor of Philosophy in Dual Clinical and Industrial Organizational Psychology, Maya J. Bristow.
Good morning. It is my honor and pleasure to award the Dorothy L. Harris Leadership Award for Women. This award honors the memory of Dr. Dorothy Lip Harris, who is an internationally renowned educator, psychologist, and management consultant. She was a professor and an administrator at USIU for more than 20 years, in 1970 to 1991. She served as Associate Dean of the School of Human Behavior, as well as for the School of Business and Management, teaching a variety of graduate level courses in each. In the last decade of her USIU career, she was noted for designing the DBA program, teaching doctoral research courses, and serving on numerous dissertation committees. Dr. Harris was committed to helping international students and is remembered especially for nurturing multinational women business students with leadership potential. This year's recipient of the Dorothy L. Harris Leadership Award for Women is Roxanne E. Helm-Stevens, Doctor of Business Administration. Can she please come forward? Do we have her? Ms. Helm-Stevens? We will obviously present it otherwise. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Morgan Sammons, Dean of the California School of Professional Psychology, and it is my honor to present this year's Joseph McGuigan Student Research Award. The F. Joseph McGuigan Student Research Award was established by Betty McGuigan in memory of her late husband, Dr. F. Joseph McGuigan, distinguished research professor, who was one of our most productive scholars and researchers. This award honors a CSPP student who exemplifies Dr. McGuigan's commitment to empiricism and who has produced empirical research, either applied or basic, that has made a significant contribution to the field of psychology. I'm very pleased to announce that the F. Joseph McGuigan honoree this year is Sarah Giglio. Please come forward and receive your award. Sorry, I had one more. It is also my great honor this year to announce the winner of the second annual James Chips Memorial Scholarship. Dr. James Chips, who passed away in 2010, was a longtime psychologist in San Diego, an early leader of the California Psychological Association, as well as the San Diego Psychological Association, and a founding faculty member of the San Diego campus of CSPP. Upon the occasion of his passing, his family arranged for this scholarship to be awarded annually to an outstanding CSPP doctoral student. This year's recipient is Kelsey Schraufnagel. Congratulations, Kelsey. Please come and receive your award. And we'll make sure that Ms. Schraufnagel gets her award at a later time.
To present the next award, it's my pleasure to introduce the chairperson of our Student Government Association, Ms. Corey Ryan. The Student Government Association serves a number of critical roles at Alliant, including advocating for students, acting as a liaison for students to administration and faculty, sponsoring several projects across the campus like the annual Leadership Conference or the University Student Center, creating leadership development opportunities, and facilitating a number of other campus activities that promote student learning and engagement outside of the classroom. In 2010, our student leaders created the Student Government Association Outstanding Faculty Award to recognize one faculty member from each school for their outstanding contributions. Students across the campus voted for the faculty members who met specified criteria. This is the third year that these awards will be given, and they represent another continuing project for the association and a way for students to express their appreciation for their faculty. Please welcome the SGA Chair, Ms. Corey Ryan, to make the awards of this year's Student Government Association Outstanding Faculty Awards.
The Outstanding Faculty Awards are an opportunity for students to acknowledge and thank faculty who have gone above and beyond in providing guidance, support, and mentorship. On behalf of the student body of Alliant International University, it is my absolute pleasure to present the following individuals the Outstanding Faculty Awards for 2012. For the California School of Professional Psychology, Dr. Jeffrey Jackson. For the Hofstadler School of Education, Dr. Holly Wilson. For the Alliant School of Management, Dr. Wendy Chung. And for the California School of Forensic Studies, Dr. Robert Lurk.
Good morning, all. I'm Joanne Callan, and it is my special honor and privilege to introduce Myra Bristow, our student speaker for today's ceremony. Myra Bristow is a Chicago girl, I should say a young woman who hails from the Windy City, adding that although we who know her enjoy her breezy personality, there is nothing blustery nor quixotic about her. Indeed, she is a woman characterized not only by commitment to high ideals, but also by impressive industry and focus, as reflected in her having earned her PhD in a dual program in clinical and industrial organizational psychology, with an ambitious doctoral research study on relationships between selected aspects of managers' object relations and job performance, an exploration that's congruent with what she calls her fascination with the intersection between adult development and occupational functioning. Before entering the dual program here in San Diego, she, as an undergraduate, attended Xavier University in New Orleans, but returned home to Chicago's DePaul University, where she earned both her BA and MS degrees in psychology. As an undergraduate, and since then, she has actively sought opportunities to serve in roles responding to the needs and advancement of others. Examples include her service earlier as Assistant Director of Academic Affairs at the University of Illinois, where she led a federally funded program designed to support minority students, a program called Project Chance, and also the focus of her master's thesis, which was on the level of stress among elder care workers in Australia. While involved in her demanding double major here at San Diego these past 5 to 6 years, she was chosen to be in the highly selective one-year fellowship program offered to mental health professionals by the San Diego Psychoanalytic Society and Institute. And further, in this current academic year, she was accepted into their advanced psychoanalytic psychotherapy program. As well, she has served as an adjunct faculty member for the Center for Creative Leadership. You just saw her across the stage to receive the award for the outstanding doctoral student in the dual program. Indeed, her overall performance and journey here at AIU have been characterized by an impressive and energetic commitment to mastering professional skills, which she sees as necessary for her future professional career, one in which she will continue to serve others by supporting health and growth in their personal lives and relationships, and also in their work worlds. Please welcome Myra Bristow.
Thank you, Dr. Callan, for such kind and thoughtful remarks. Greetings, Board of Trustees, Dr. Jeffrey Cox, Alliant International University President, Dr. Russ Newman, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Deans and Directors, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am deeply humbled and also joyful to stand before you today to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2012 at Alliant International University. To prepare for my comments, I watched a video of a man from humble beginnings who with fortitude, perseverance, and compassion rose through the ranks of academia to become, as I quote one of his colleagues, one of the greatest educators of the 21st century. This man was my father. Growing up, I was asked oftentimes by many people whom I did not know, "Are you Dr. Bristow's daughter?" My father spent the last 10 years of his life as a university president. I saw with awe my father and his larger-than-life impact on so many others, always wondering what it was like to be Dr. Bristow. Throughout my life together, he and my mother instilled in me the value of education and of also not giving up despite seemingly impossible odds. I dedicate this speech to my parents' courage and strength. In the last conversation I had with my father, in his typical father fashion, he shared with me 3 nuggets of wisdom that I'd like to pass on to you. The first was that California drivers are different from drivers that I had become accustomed to in Chicago. So I should stay off my cell phone while driving. The second was to ask a lot of questions starting the first week of class in order to prepare for the next 5 years and beyond. And the third was that he was proud of me. My dad passed away the following day, 3 days before my orientation was scheduled at Alliant. I remember others encouraging me to take some time off, attend my father's memorial services, and start school the following semester. I nodded, and a week later after his funeral service, I got on a plane in San Diego in order to begin classes. You see, my mission had changed. Those 3 messages from my father have essentially shaped my life. And 6 years later, I stand before you with a perfect California driving record in front of a few professors who I may have exhausted with my tenacity and inquisitiveness, and also a feeling that my dad is proud. I finally know what it's like to be Dr. Bristow. We all have those special people in our lives who push us to higher heights than we could ever imagine. Those people who support us unequivocally, even with our loftiest of dreams. For you, it may be a professor or a special friend or colleague you met along the journey, or your parents, grandparents, or siblings. As you recall and look around at those special people today, the friend sitting beside you, the professor on this stage, or your mom in the far left corner, I also encourage you to look inward. It was you who stayed up all hours of the night studying for finals and competency exams. It was you who found your way through the maze that is the San Diego campus to stumble into a classroom and find a professor with a warm smile and also classmates equally nervous about what the future holds. It was you who, despite your ambivalence, turned those classmates into lifelong friends and allowed professors to become mentors on whom you can always call. And it is you who sits here today, probably still fearful about what the future holds, but confident in the skills you have acquired, your ability to succeed, and the promise of you making a difference. When I heard I had been nominated for the graduation speech, I was immediately flooded with emotion and questions. What do I say to keep everyone awake? What would I tell my future daughter or son in this situation? What might be the most important thing to graduates in the next 5 or 50 years? And the question that plagued me the most, who in the world nominated me? I don't consider myself an extraordinary Alliant student. I'm like most of you. I often keep my head buried in a book, and I'm strong-willed. But when I do look up from that book and interact with others, it is usually with a warm and genuine smile. And I thought, maybe that's it. Maybe someone had nominated me because they noticed my smile. Then I thought about my dad's smile, and the smile I was greeted with by my first professor at Alliant, Dr. Rabin. And another feeling washed over me, one that was reminiscent of coming home after a rough day at school, feeling drained but comforted to know that there was someone right around the corner ready to greet me with a warm smile and kind hello. Alliant has been that place for me. Yes, a place of frustration and doubt, but also a place that felt like home. So today my thought is, it doesn't matter who nominated me for this speech. What matters is that I found a way to make someone feel at home, and in turn, someone thought I could handle the pressure of writing a commencement speech post-dissertation. I'm teasing a bit, and I'm thankful for the challenge, and I hope you're still awake. I read once the following quote from Mark Twain. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. I can remember many afternoons spent in the courtyard of the San Diego campus between classes, lamenting with fellow students over the amount of coursework required or clinical hours that we had to complete in order to graduate. If one was to peel back those layers of quibble and distress, I imagine that one feeling would stand out among them all: fear. And the other, the one that carried us back to class, woes in one hand and a notebook in the other, courage. Graduates, you are here today because you have courage. This graduating class of 2012 possesses a genuine sense of duty, a desire not just to make a living, but to make a difference, and a thirst for learning that will carry you forward. Alliant has taught us about difference and diversity. It has taught us how to focus on and appreciate the real-world problems of today and those of tomorrow, and thus has prepared us to embark on our respective journeys in the real world, not without doubt or fear, but with the courage to persevere in the face of fear. Consider this moment, this particular point in time, when society stands on the precipice of shifts in ecology, economy, political ideology, and global technology, and thus demands that a new generation of scholars emerge to respond to the myriad of needs of a complex world. You are those scholars. And now the question becomes, what do we do with such a grand calling? Only you can respond to that question, and given the preparedness that Alliant University has engendered in us all, I am certain that most of you already have an answer. Although we are challenged to move forward responsibly, I hope that we never forget to savor each and every one of our accomplishments and our joys. Indeed, we are here to celebrate our accomplishments today, in particular our graduation, and to thank our family and friends for being constant pillars in our lives. We are also here to thank our university and its faculty for challenging us when we needed a kick in the rear and supporting us when we needed a shoulder to lean on. This is a joyous occasion. So today, for just a moment, cast your doubt aside and revel in your pride because you did it. On the count of 3, I want everyone to look to their neighbor and say, "You did it." 1, 2, 3. I can hear my father's voice as if he were standing right in front of me. "Maya, you did it." So congratulations, class of 2012. I wish you the best of luck in your future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maya. It's now my privilege to introduce to you Dr. Glenn Harvey, the Chief Executive Officer of WestEd, an organization that conducts research into the policies and practices of education, surely one of the most important and critical fields of our time and in our country. Under Dr. Harvey's leadership, WestEd emphasizes performing the highest quality work to promote excellence, achieve equity, and improve learning for children, youth, and adults. Dr. Harvey helps ensure that WestEd produces significant and positive impact through its work, especially for those children and their families with greatest need. WestEd has received recognition as being among the best in its class of organizations in its work in research, development, and service. Under Dr. Harvey's leadership, the agency has created an internal atmosphere that fosters staff productivity and creativity. This has been reflected in the San Francisco Business Times, the Silicon Valley Business Journal, recognizing WestEd as one of the Bay Area's best places to work in 2011. Dr. Harvey previously served as Executive Director of Learning Innovations and of the Regional Laboratory for Educational Improvement of the Northeast and Islands, both based in New England. She was educated at the University of Kentucky in the fields of psychology, sociology, and philosophy, and received her doctorate in the philosophy of education from Stanford University. It's a great honor to welcome Dr. Glenn Harvey.
See, it makes an awful noise. That was the best student speech I've heard in ages. You are a very hard act to follow. Good morning, President Cox, Provost Newman, distinguished platform guests, thank you. And to all you parents, you grandparents, families, friends, and especially those in the front, class of 2012, congratulations. As you said to each other, you did it. Congratulations. I'm honored. I look at all of you and I see these. Actually, if you were up here, you'd see I can't see smiling faces. I just see dark because of this light. But I rode down in the elevator with someone getting her PhD today, and the excitement, the enthusiasm, it is really an honor that you invited me to join in celebrating all that you have accomplished. It's very, very impressive. Each of you has traveled a very long road to be here, and you're all looking forward to exciting journeys in the future. Take time, and you've heard this from other speakers, take time to savor the pride and happiness you feel sitting here today. You deserve it. Cherish the excitement of the moment, and please do take time to thank all those who helped you reach this goal. None of us make it here on our own. Family, friends, and faculty have traveled this road with you. Thank and appreciate them for the encouragement and support they provided you along the way. All of you in the back, I thank you for all that you did so they can sit up here. Graduation is a time to celebrate. It's a time to applaud your accomplishments and look with anticipation to the future that lies ahead. But as you heard from the President's remarks, it's also a time to reflect. It's time to take a moment. You are the future of our country. You're the future of your family. You are my future. And so today I want to take just a very few minutes to talk from the heart, my heart to yours, since you are mine. Define and measure your own success and how you will know if you've lived a good life. These are really difficult, fundamental questions many of us do not ask. I encourage you to examine them now, not when you launch your career, and really explore those questions as you embark on the next life chapter. You want to define your journey. You do not want the journey to inadvertently define you. The British philosopher, and I've noticed all of us are quoting philosophers. It makes me very happy since I'm a philosophy major. The British philosopher John Stuart Mill reflected, "Human nature is not a machine to be built after a model and set to do exactly the work prescribed for it, but a tree which requires to grow and develop itself on all sides, according to the tendency of the inward forces which make it a living thing." This seems like such an old-fashioned quote in such a technologically focused world, but I love the tree versus machine image that comes to mind. Are you an oak? Are you a giant redwood, a weeping cherry, maybe a dogwood? This is the time to decide what kind of tree you will grow into throughout your career. Do you bear fruit and feed the world? Do you provide shade and a place to rest? Are you a safe haven for birds looking to start the next generation? Or do you delight children swinging on your branches? Mill reminds all of us that we are not mindless cogs or pre-programmed machines. We have a choice in who we are and who we grow to become. We all have a choice. You have a choice. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't be everything to what the people in the back want you to be. But you should be deliberate about who you are now and who you will be in the future, not for anyone else, but for yourself. Don't let the world define you, and don't let yourself slowly morph into someone you had no intention of being. This is the time to decide who you will be and how you will bring meaning to yourself and the world around you. John Gardner, who was a famous American writer, wrote, and I really apologize, this is a long quote, but he is far more articulate than I will ever be. Meaning is not something you stumble across, like the answer to a riddle or the prize in a treasure hunt. Meaning is something you build into your life. You build it out of your past, out of your affections and loyalties, out of the experience of humankind as it's passed on to you by the people in the back, out of your own talent and understanding, out of the things you believe in, out of the things and people you love, and out of the values of which you are willing to sacrifice something. The ingredients are there. You're the only person who can put them together into that unique pattern that will be your life. Let it be a life that has dignity and meaning for you. This is empowering, and yet it's really a daunting prospect, the thought of creating meaning in your life. I don't think we talk about that enough anymore. Many people ignore that opportunity to consciously create meaning. Maybe that's also part of the comments about margin. People passively let meaning making happen to them. And then one day when they get older, and I say this, it's always interesting to have a student speaker and then somebody old come and talk. So I'm the older one. When they get old, they find often too late that they have missed so much of what matters most. Don't let this be you as you grow older. I encourage you to take this time to reflect and be intentional about who you are and what matters to you. Intentionality really does matter. Accept responsibility for who you want to become and the meaning you will seek in your life. The Chinese philosopher Mencius warns us that he who attends to his greater self can become a great man, but he who attends to his small self becomes a small man. These are words of wisdom and ones we all need to listen to. Now is the time to define your greater self. You did not work this hard, accomplish so much to be a small person. Always strive for greatness. By sitting here today, you have proven that you are capable of greatness. Keep on this path. Your university, your proud alma mater, for those of you who think about it, now you have an alma mater. That's very cool. Your alma mater makes this bold commitment on your behalf. Success is measured not only in terms of the number of degrees awarded and the number of academic papers published, but also by the impact students and graduates make in the communities in which they work. The impact that you make reflects on your university. This is truly a courageous statement from your alma mater. This is a commitment to making a positive difference, to having an impact. I encourage you to live up to this expectation, both in values and in concrete actions. It's easy to, you've probably already been through this experience, it's easy to start your professional education passionate and idealistic about the positive change that you can make. But as your investment of time, energy, and resources mounts along with stress, idealism can easily start to slip away to pragmatism and then to self-interest. One day you realize that you squandered your opportunity for making a difference, of having a significant impact, and you are left with a legacy that is worth far less. I know it's hard to imagine that now in youthful enthusiasm, but these are really important warnings. If most of what you accomplish is only for your own aggrandizement and personal gain, you will leave the world no better than you found it. And I suspect at that moment you will have many regrets for what could have been. You will have let greatness slip away. To help you keep the commitment that Alliant has made on your behalf, graduation is also a time to better understand your moral compass and know the direction it is guiding you. If you've never thought about having a moral compass, I suggest you do. It's a nice concrete image. With each compromise in values, with each decision that you make that's in your own self-interest but not consistent with your values, and I guarantee you, you will have many, many choices presented to you along your career. Each time you're not consistent with your values, you change your direction on a compass ever so slightly. You may not detect the change at all, but one day, instead of heading north, you look around and you find that you veered 180 degrees. Yourself making decisions, committing acts which are the opposite of the standards you once held for yourself, the standards that you articulate at this moment. These are profoundly painful moments. Having a strong moral compass is critical. Having the courage to follow it is even more essential. Throughout your career in life, you will be tested again and again and again. You're embarking on, I believe, all of you, on your leadership roles in your chosen professions. It's an exciting time. The economy is weak, but all of you are going to land on your feet. I guarantee it. You've received the gift of an excellent education. You will be in demand. You'll have opportunities to pursue all your careers. Be confident you will. I suspect most of you don't believe me, and you're nervous about the next step. There is so much economic gloom not to be worried, but my advice to you is ignore that. Focus on the fundamental questions at this moment of who you want to be, where your moral compass should be pointing, and what kind of leader you will represent in the future. The rest is secondary. It will come. Leadership is always difficult, and I believe most of you are aiming to be leaders in this country. This is a very difficult and challenging time to be a leader in this country. I warn you of that very directly. For the past decade, there seems to have been really a sense of pessimism and malaise in the country. People are afraid. They're afraid of the dismal economy, of unknown threats. They want security and prosperity that seem out of their reach. People keep looking back over their shoulder, afraid, or looking down discouraged. They feel vulnerable, they feel disempowered, they're angry and frustrated. My advice to you is you cannot lead looking back over your shoulder in fear and distrust or looking down discouraged. As a leader, you need to look up and around and especially forward. Every challenge is an opportunity for you. It's all about your perception and your vision, but you have to be willing to take a chance, to stand for something, and to try to move forward and solve the issues that continue to challenge our society, my society, your society. In 2010, over 46 million people in this country lived in poverty. That's defined by an income below $22,000 for a family of 2 adults and 2 children. I'm in education. Over 16.4 million children in this country in 2010 lived in poverty. That's 22% of the children in this country live in poverty now. Close to half of them live in extreme poverty. That means 10%, or over 7 million children in this country, are in a household of 4 living on less than $11,000 a year. That one issue, poverty, will touch all of you, regardless of the career path you have chosen. Being a good leader starts with being a good and just person, with acknowledging that you have a responsibility for the most vulnerable among us and using your skills and your knowledge to make your community, your country, wherever you find yourself, more equitable, more compassionate, more responsive to the needs of those less lucky than you. I remind you of the poverty rate primarily because in a country of our collective wealth, that over 7 million children struggle in a family with less than $11,000 a year is unacceptable to me. And I hope, as up-and-coming leaders, I hope it is unacceptable to you. Plato reminds all of you as new leaders, the measure of a man is what he does with power. As a leader, You will have much power and influence. Decide now how you want to wield it and what you want to accomplish with it. Decide now how you will know if you're a good and just person, a good and just leader. Don't let this moment slip away from you. My wish for you as a leader in your field is that you collectively and individually tackle some of the really enduring problems, like poverty, that remain unsolved, that my generation has not solved. That through your careers you find ways to develop solutions, to touch lives, to make a positive difference. A tradition of commencement speeches, at least according to my own daughter, who is in graduate school as I speak, so I am excited to see that graduation may in fact happen. A tradition of commencement speeches is sharing lessons learned. I've been involved, as you heard, in education reform, trying to make a positive difference for over 4 decades, starting with my own personal realization while I was in college that education can be and should be the great equalizer in our country. And as you heard, I now lead WestEd, which is a national nonprofit research and development and service organization committed to promoting excellence, achieving equity, and improving learning in children, youth, and adults. We see ourselves as a catalyst for improvement in education and improvement in healthy human development. And that's one of the interests that we really have in Alliant, that you bring those things together as well. We have been identified as one of the best places to work in the San Francisco Bay Area. We're a good employer. We think we treat people well. We're doing financially well in this awful economy. And in my opinion, most importantly, I think we're making the world a better place. So based on my career, those 40 years, even though I believe there are lots of different lessons to be learned and lots of different styles for successful leadership, I thought I'd share and close with a couple of mine, some of which I think I have learned very painfully. No surprise to you given what you heard from me, and I think what you heard from President Cox. Know who you are and what you value. You need to be comfortable in your own skin. You will be confronted with constant opportunities to compromise who you are, to sell your soul to the highest bidder. To know when to walk away, when to run away, you first need to know who you fundamentally are. A second and probably even harder lesson or bit of advice is be painfully honest with yourself about your successes and failures, your strengths and your weaknesses. I'm not saying you have to tell those to your colleagues, but tell them to yourself. Don't give yourself excuses, constantly reflect, and then act on what you learn to improve. Third, and this is a fun lesson, surround yourself with people smarter, more expert than you are. If you're genuinely tackling difficult problems through your work, you need all the talent you can marshal. Never be fearful of hiring people smarter than you are. Next, remember that good ideas come from anyone at any time. Encourage and support everyone you work with, regardless of their role or their level of responsibility. Respect each and every person. Treat everyone fairly and with dignity. It takes everyone working together to create greatness. And finally, and this is a very hard one for some of us as well, finally, keep your ego in check. It's not about you. It's about the work. That's hard to say since all of these speeches are, it's about you today. But this is about tomorrow. So it's about you today, but not tomorrow. Keep your... It's not about you in the long run in your career. It's about the work, the mission, your colleagues, and your clients. And when in your career, or I would say even in the margins in your life, in all of that, when it becomes about you, you need to rethink. You need to consider moving on, because it's not about you. It's about something much bigger than you. Every decision you make, every action you take is a choice. As a leader, as a human being, always try to do what is right and what is good and what is just. Always remember, you always have a choice. Be honest in your deepest and most personal self-reflections and decide who you want to be and how you want to lead your life. And then work as diligently and as constantly as you possibly can to live up to your own expectations. Make your life's narrative an inspirational one. You're only on the planet for a brief moment. Make the most of it. Wherever you are, whatever you do, give more than you take. Again, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harvey, for those heartfelt, timely words of wisdom, hope, and inspiration. It's my privilege now to begin the presentation of the class of 2012 of Alliant International University. The degree candidates will be presented by their school dean in the order listed in your program. The dean of each school will certify the candidates and invite them to come forward to receive their degrees. Doctoral candidates will be hooded by their dissertation chairperson and program director or dean.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Psychology and Master of Arts in Forensic Studies please rise? President Cox, on behalf of the faculty of the California School of Forensic Studies, I present these candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts and Doctor of Psychology, who are entitled to the rights and privileges of this degree. Will the candidates please proceed to the stage?
Roxanne Carol Borges.
Heather Annette McMahon.
Ashley Cecilia Snyder.
Karen M. Thebus.
Trevor Berlin Mackin.
Oh, if they're hiding, we have to go slow.
Okay. Tracy M. Wire.
Crystal Bryans.
Jillian Sloan Erdberg.
Elena M. Lopez.
Elizabeth K. Pittner.
Jessica Silsby.
Nicole Radford.
Jonathan Arditi.
Michelle Kelly Clark.
Nancy G. Jamail.
No. Kristen Suzanne Weldon.
Catherine Whitney Peak.
Frida Denna Pfiffer.
Brittany Lawler.
Elisa Martinez.
Sarah Larson. you. Good joint effort.
Will the candidates from the following programs in the Shirley M. Huffstedler School of Education please rise? Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies in Education, Master of Arts in Education Administration, Master of Arts in School Psychology, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Doctor of Education in Educational Leadership and Management, Doctor of Education in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, and Doctor of Psychology in Educational Psychology. President Cox. On behalf of the faculty of the Shirley M. Huffstedler School of Education, I present these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Master of Arts, Doctor of Education, and Doctor of Psychology, who are entitled to the rights and privileges of these degrees. Will the candidates please proceed to the stage?
Kristen Fiant.
Audrey Miller.
Angelina Cliasa Caballero.
David Andrew Van Pelt.
Christina Lizarraga.
Lauren Perez.
Natalie Gadoy.
Kelly Lynn Mitchell.
Sarah F. Gerges.
Lana Wynn McKenzie.
Deborah Geraldine Garrett.
Denise Cortez.
Alexander Townley Price.
Mona Alari.
Lara Pasco.
Venus Elaine Copeland.
Marla Estrella Walters.
Shayla Robertson.
Jennifer Griffin.
Erica Delgado.
Julia May Miller.
Samantha Bailey.
Anadera Valayi.
Shantice Lene Bosse.
Alexis Roldan.
Megan Cormier.
Angela Marie Manjares.
Nicole Rochi.
Brandon Joseph Prime.
Yasmin Valensky.
Gabrielle M. Barrientos.
Ginny Cronizer.
Lauren A. Wayman.
Ray Alejandro Idos.
Angela J. De Alva.
Amber Ward.
Kimberly De Jesus Alfonso.
Bryant Keith Hull.
Ji Jong Lee.
Janine Louise Porges.
Marion Adams.
Dilaram Naganay.
Congratulations, Doctor. Thank
you. Jody McKinney.
Patricia Bacalus Ariman.
Leslie Noth Pearson.
Well, take this first. Let's make help for you.
Grace Lockman Fantaroni.
Maxine Goldberg.
Victoria Allison Duffy.
Heather Marie McGuire.
Tahara Dovey Ross.
Clara Izadi.
Mary Kathleen Rozzo.
Kristen Patricia Johnson.
Ashley E. Smithy.
Monet Millard Templeton.
Jeremy Daniel Owen.
Will the candidates from the following programs in the Alliant School of Management please rise? Bachelor of Arts in Communication, Bachelor of Arts in Integrated Marketing Communication, Bachelor of Arts in International Relations, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Bachelor of Science in International Business Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of International Business Administration, Master of Arts in International Relations, Doctor of Business Administration. President Cox, on behalf of the faculty of the Alliant School of Management, I present these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Business Administration, Master of International Business Administration, Doctor of Business Administration, who are entitled to the rights and privileges of these degrees. Will the candidates please proceed to the stage?
Richard Ada.
Andrew Michael Calero.
Michelle Evert.
Edward Dwayne Bailey.
Young Lee.
Lu Zheng.
Kamisha Cody.
Frances Marie Taylor.
Lu Huang.
Raúl Alcantara.
Sarah Teresa Peña Hernandez.
Chad William Lysing.
Stephen Christopher Jaworski.
Sebastian Simonson.
David Lammers.
Ellen Capps.
Inga Maria Shapiro.
Brandon James Thompson.
Kelsey Elizabeth Byer.
Lena Al-Dalaimi.
Sarah Khalid Bourshade.
Brian Julian Guan.
Evan Franklin Smith II.
Andres Ramos Ceballos.
Andre Roshke.
Agat Fernandez.
Marco Markovich.
Stephen James Sykowski.
Sophie Holberg.
Vanessa Diane Cromwell.
Betty Keys Perez. Si Chen.
Yuhui Tang.
Yibo Hu.
Cindy Rubinson.
Vernon Eugene Mortensen.
Deborah D. Callahan.
Valerie J. Paz.
Miho Hirause Brown.
Yasmin Santana.
Marcel Heitmeyer.
Sovani Sepanga.
Xiao Ing Chai.
Torben Henseek.
Senem Azli Azlikhan.
Paul Withaka.
Joseph Raymond Higgins.
Sarmila Armani Raufpour.
Jamal Salim Bata.
Yosef Ibrahim.
Mustafa Saim.
Will the candidates from the following programs in the California School of Professional Psychology please rise? Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Master of Arts in Marital and Family Therapy, Master of Arts in Psychology, Master of Arts in Industrial Organizational Psychology, Master of Science in Consulting Psychology, Master of Science in Industrial Organizational Psychology, Master of Arts in Organizational Behavior, Doctor of Psychology in Marital and Family Therapy, Doctor of Psychology in Clinical Psychology, Doctor of Philosophy in Consulting Psychology, Doctor of Philosophy in Industrial Organizational Psychology, Doctor of Philosophy in Leadership, Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Psychology, and Dual Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical and Industrial Organizational Psychology. President Cox, on behalf of the faculty of the California School of Professional Psychology, I present these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Science, Doctor of Psychology, and Doctor of Philosophy, who are entitled to the rights and privileges of these degrees. Will the candidates please proceed to the stage?
Agata Ta Ishkananyan.
Tabitha Jean Scott.
Philip Johan Chung.
Debbie Zenga.
Molly Joanne Stad.
Flavio de Oliveira.
Kristen Elaine Nevin.
Kara Lynn Hyder.
Tiffany Rose Abbey, magna cum laude.
Leanna
John A. Gilbert, cum laude.
Gracie Elizabeth Madero.
Melissa Jane Ordway, cum laude.
Kelly Cheng.
Meflude Alec.
Monica Adriana Cruz Gonzalez.
Lydia Karina Beltran.
Shauna Ramsey.
Crystal Leigh Dodson.
Renata Escobeda.
Rebecca M. Luna, cum laude.
Derek Boyd Ray.
Jean T. Rothman.
Zoanne Mixner Krins.
Joanne Henry.
Yasmin Abazov.
Jessica Noel Holzer.
Katie Gio.
Jennifer Hartwig.
Casey Lynn Ware.
Kyle Michael Reed.
Emily Jean Eckstein.
Josephine Elizabeth Casper.
Sanaz Sadat.
Nicole Claire Lovall.
Brandy Ali.
Stacy Ojeda.
Jennifer Ann West.
Veronica Tirado Escorza.
Hala Rashid.
Christy Leah Hoot Kane.
Yelena Kashtuyeva.
Blair Nicole Broughton.
Caleb Harris.
Amy Eiko Shimamoto.
Tammy Fincher.
Anya Yanoskaya.
Lorena Rincon Ardedondo.
Stacy R. Bizou.
Jennifer Gonzalez.
Allison R. Colho.
Carolyn Richardson.
Daniela L. Anderson.
Devin Governsky.
Allison Victoria Brown Lee.
Eric Allen Jones.
Saad Omar Al-Kahan Bashi.
Nancy Hong Min Lei.
Jigisha Patel.
Martha Patricia Banulios.
Jennifer Ann Birdsall.
Susanna Marquez.
Bridget Amy Arrows.
Carla Hazen.
Anthony Simon.
Liliana Cirillo.
Martin Jude Lopez.
Ryan Kriniak.
Irene Yafang Liu.
Donna Carollo.
Arahef Shahalavini.
Jessica Lastimoso.
Catherine Meyer.
Carla Alvarado Herdia.
Sandra Espinosa.
Ashley Christina Adams.
Ashley Marie Wayman.
Jessica Kang.
Melissa Lynn Saris.
Laura Therese Weinstein.
Suzanne Elizabeth Stein.
Alex Lily Landon.
Alexis Aaron Weintraub.
Harpreet Mala.
Suzanne Ahmed.
Pamela Villarreal.
Andrés Escayón Salazar.
Mark Eret.
Katrina Loris Strickland.
Ardelina Matev Osian.
Melanie Arzu Nian.
Tina Mays.
Rina Ann Becerra.
Andrew Kingwell.
Noelle Joan Deckman.
Shay Leanne Gronwald.
Christine Kimmel.
Christy Lynn Bergman.
Emily Jade Henrik.
Mark J. Stern.
Melissa Marie Lee.
Angela Robertson.
Pamela Marie Clark.
Brooke Ann Buccellato.
Seiji Nishina.
Just want to make sure I get it. Lillian Farchet.
Bianca Plotkin.
Bree Marie Mullen.
Razia Abdulmumin.
Lori Christine Tarter.
Angela Michelle Stebbins.
Margaret N. Saweres.
Brittany Poisner Chidley.
David L. Broderick, Jr.
Lisa Ambrosino Ho.
Nina Petita Monge.
Samira Vafadar.
Aspron Williams.
Catherine Lee Martin.
Ratika Katial.
Stephen Rahul Brewer.
Lindsay Ann Frazier.
Laura Ann Blystein.
Mariette Boyce Hughes.
Ellen Genevieve Connell.
Jessica Lee Evers Killebrew.
Okay.
I'll read it while I flip it.
Sounds good.
Kimberly Page Halloway.
Shauna Suzanne Weiss.
Susan Deborah Ryder. Trista Yusin Fu.
Phoebe Jo Wooden.
Catherine Evans Stanfill.
Megan Carlson Hamill.
Brent R. Crandall.
Jamie L. Postuma.
Dustin Michael Cisneros.
Kristen Campbell Bonwell.
Sarah Gilio.
Heather Martens.
Melissa Choi.
Nathaniel Robert Hipp.
Stephanie Natz.
Nicole Antoinette Duarte.
Daniel Jin Blum.
Christina Leitner Saltman.
Ryan Jeremy Jordan.
Maya J. Bristow.
Michael F. Milad. Crystal Ashley Enzi.
Miguel Ángel Cárdenas.
Will all the candidates for all the degrees please rise? President Cox, it is my pleasure to present to you the graduating class of 2012 of Alliant International University.
So here comes my favorite thing about my job. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Alliant International University and the state of California, I hereby confer the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Business Administration, Master of International Business Administration, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Business Administration, Doctor of Psychology, and Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights and privileges pertaining to each. Graduates, it's now official. It's my privilege and pleasure to congratulate you once again on your great accomplishments. You may now move your tassels to the left. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you, the Alliant International University graduates of 2012. The faculty, staff, and administration of Alliant pride ourselves on preparing our students to be valued and contributing members of the communities in which they live and work following graduation. More specifically, we've worked diligently during your time here to equip you with the skills and values you will need to tackle real-world, significant issues and problems in those communities. While a community may be geographically defined, a neighborhood, a city, a state, a country, it is not necessarily so. A community may also be a group of people organized around common values and working toward a common purpose. One important community to which you will belong upon graduation is the profession for which you were educated and trained. As a professional practice university, Alliant takes a special care and interest to assure that you are prepared not just for a job, not just to earn a wage, but to enter a profession in your chosen area of study. You will join a group of similarly trained individuals who share with you core competencies, core knowledge, a common ethical code, and who are all committed to serving clients, patients, students, and organizations while also being committed to serving their profession. Another important community to which you will now belong is the alumni of Alliant. You join the ranks of over 45,000 alumni from more than 125 countries from all over the world. This is a community of which we are particularly proud, and we have more than a passing interest in knowing what happens with you, your careers, your successes, and your challenges as you continue along your professional path. Please keep us informed, share with us your future accomplishments, and as you experience life after graduation, provide us with your thoughts to help us make Alliant an even stronger professional practice university. We sincerely hope you will stay connected with Alliant as an active alum through your respective schools. It is there that you can be in touch with other alumni and be a part of a worldwide network of 85 years of our university's graduates. We hope you will consider yourself both an ambassador on behalf of Alliant and as a talent scout, sending the best and brightest our way. In the professional world, we know how important it is to make connections and to network. As you prepare to take the next step toward working to solve real-world, significant problems in the communities in which you live and work, we invite you to continue to build your network with us. Your school's alumni office will be in touch with you after graduation. Count on it. On behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the entire university, congratulations, and let me be the first to welcome you to the Alliant International University alumni community. This concludes the commencement ceremony for the Alliant class of 2012. You are all invited to celebrate this event with the graduates, their families, their friends, and other members of the Alliant community. Please join us at a reception in the foyer immediately following the recessional. The audience is requested to please remain seated during the recessional.
Thank you.